welcome back to my channel. So I'm doing a zombie Rabie infected Mickey Mouse. So first you're going to start off with some cotton balls, and it doesn't really matter what brand, any brand works. You kind of just want to pull the cotton ball apart until it makes long strips like this. The longer the strip, the easier of a time you'll have. The shorter the strip, the more trouble you'll be dealing with. So I'm going to take some liquid latex. This one is just from Walmart. It was $10 for the little container, so it was really cool. And I'm putting it into a bowl. You don't want to put too much because you're not really going to need a lot. It just depends on, you know, what you're wanting to do. Just for the look that I did, it didn't really take that much liquid latex. So taking a cosmetic wedge, I'm just going to place down some liquid latex first, so it has something sticky for the cotton to lay on top of. And so all I'm doing is I'm taking that wedge, and you're kind of wanting to just swipe it. If you pat on top of the cotton, it'll pick it up. So swipe in one way, swipe the other way, and then just until you find rhythm for you. And I did that on the top, I'm doing it on the bottom now. So taking the latex, placing the cotton, and adding more latex. I built mine up about 3 or 4 times, just depending on how big you want it to look. You can add more layers. It's just what happened to work best for me. So pretty much what you want is you want it to hit that like pointy smiley shape. If you get it to that point, then it's super easy because you just have to mimic it on the other side. And I do like to take a little bit of latex down the bottom of the cotton just so it makes a lip that the foundation will lay right on top of. Just so it blends a little bit better. And what I did was I was just going back in where I saw that it looked a little bit patchy, and I started applying more cotton. But you see how the sponge picks up the cotton. You want to make sure that you're not patting, like I said, you want to swipe it. So taking the ends of the tweezers, I'm going to go ahead and use that to flatten down the cotton. I don't know if you guys can see that, but on the tweezers there's excess latex coming off, and what that does is it kind of smoothens it down and makes it look a little bit more skin-like. I also find that it's easier to work with if it's flat versus when it's all rigidy and patchy and like clumpy. So taking the pointed side of the tweezers, I'm going to start lifting up the mouth. The reason that's important is because we're going to put teeth under there later, so you want to make sure that you get it done. I just started using tweezers, and then I went in with scissors because it was just easier to kind of cut through that latex. And you can cut off all the excess cotton that you don't feel like you want to be showing on your face. Then all I did was go back in there, flatten it out again, just to make sure that all the excess latex was getting fed through the cotton evenly, so that way it doesn't come off like midway, and you want it to be really stuck together. And I, for some reason, like to just take the tweezers and use the edge to kind of just flatten the mouth. For me, it makes it a little bit more pleasing than if it's just like wonky. So now I'm going to take the Snazaroo black water activated paint, and I'm just going to fill inside the mouth. The reason that you want to do this now is because when we start layering things on top of it, it's going to be harder to get back in there and fill in the spaces. So just do it while it's available to you. And I took a pointed brush and I started to create Mickey's outline. It's super simple. As long as you have a reference picture, you can totally do this. And don't be scared if you mess up. You can take a makeup wipe and just wipe off the excess product. The only difficult side about this is that you have to make sure that it's symmetrical, because if it's not, it's going to look thrown off. And that just goes for like the face part at least. You can always wear like a black shirt. You don't have to do what I did in mine, but I mean, if you do, just want to make sure that it looks somewhat symmetrical. So I went ahead and started filling in the forehead and the sides of my face, just so that way I could pre-see where I'm going to lay everything out and see what it's starting to look like. So then what I did was I got a makeup wipe like I was telling you guys, and I just started cleaning around the edges just to make sure that it looked as sharp as I wanted it to be, and as pointy as I wanted all the little points in his face to be. So I did the nose, and it didn't notice that I was going out of frame, so just feel free to do whatever kind of nose you want to do. So now I'm going to take my bald cap. This one I've only used about 3 times, so it's fit to my head. But when you're using a new bald cap, you're going to want to make sure that it fits your head and you have to where it can be tucked behind your ear. So I'm taking that same makeup wipe and I'm just taking away a little bit of the black paint, just because we're going to put spirit glue down, and that's just to make the bald cap stick to your head. If you've never used spirit gum before, you want to make sure that it gets tacky, so you're going to want to tap on it until it starts to get until you start to see your skin pulling with your finger. And so what you do to one side, you want to make sure you do it to the other side. So now I decided to paint on top of the bald cap just so that way I could see, exactly what I'm working with so far. And if you are going to be wearing this for a longer period of time, the water activated paint does stay on the bald cap, but if you do sweat a lot, I would say try to find like a grease paint or something that you can set down for the face part, because it will come off if you sweat. And also, say you're doing this for Halloween, you can always make sure that you have somebody else to finish gluing down the bald cap in the back and paint the bald cap completely. I didn't find it necessary because it was just a tutorial, and it's just something that I wanted you guys to see the forward part from, because the back part's not really that exciting, if you get what I mean. So taking the NYC Get It All foundation, I love this foundation. Unfortunately, they don't sell it in the US anymore, or at least not in. So I'm taking that and I'm applying that all over my face and using a small concealer brush to blend it out. The reason I'm doing this is because you have a little bit more accuracy with a smaller brush than a bigger brush, and for some reason, when you use a smaller brush, you get more coverage. So it should look a little something like this. And now dipping into the chamois nude shade, I'm going to set the eyes down, and then I just decided to take my RCMA powder and set the rest of my face. Might as well. Taking the butterscotch and the LOL shades from NYX, I'm going to apply that all over my eyes just to define them a bit. Then taking the olive green shade, I forgot what this one's called, but it's from NYX too. And I'm applying that to the outer and inner corner. And then taking the yellow and the green, I'm going to apply that to the brow bone just to kind of give my arch a little bit of definition. Taking this palette, it's called the Imagine palette. I'll link it down below. I got it off of Amazon. It's kind of like a dupe of the Makeup Forever palette, the Flash palette. I'm taking that and I'm applying the yellow all around the perimeter of the mouth. Once that's set and done, I'm going to mix the 2 reds and I'm going to apply that to the rest of the mouth. And then taking that same brush that we used, I'm taking a little bit more foundation and I'm applying that around the rest of the mouth. And like I said, that liquid latex, when we put it down, when you drag the liquid latex down, it adds kind of like a little blend. So it doesn't look as stacked on as it would if you did this with like toilet paper or without smoothing out the cotton. So the teeth part, it's really just nails. You take a nail, you cut it with some scissors until you get this pointy shape. And then I used the liquid latex, dipped it in the latex, and then put it underneath the flap that we made. When I took it off, I found that this still stayed, so it's a really good way to make sure that they're stuck throughout the night. Taking a little bit of blood scab from Spirit, this is a scab blood kind of, well pretty much it's a scab blood. I'm going to put this all along the teeth, just the bottom part of the teeth though. Then taking the paint down my neck, I'm going to go ahead and start applying that all over the body. I did go in with the Snazaroo yellow body paint just because I wanted this to, instead of having the typical like red shorts, I wanted to make it overalls. For all you ladies out there that want to body paint your body all the way down, I would definitely recommend this technique or this option because it covers a little bit better. Of course you'd be wearing like pasties or whatever, but this looks a little bit better than having to body paint like just the bottom part of your body, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I decided to use yellow because I thought it was going to be a really big contrast against the black and the red. It kind of felt a little Ronald McDonald though, I'm not going to lie. And then taking the red body paint, ignore the glitter. I had glitter fall in there for some reason. And I'm just painting that down to where you guys can't see. Of course, if you're doing this on Halloween Day, make sure you're blending it all the way down. And I decided to take the black body paint and make little buttons. And then I just started filling in between the lines. I took the white Snazaroo paint and I just created a little X on the buttons just to make it look like it was kind of stitched. And then taking these contacts, these are the contact lens hub contacts in white, and I'm just going to put those in my eyeballs. I don't know why I twirl my head, it's just something I've always done when I put contacts on. And then once those are set, I'm taking the zombie blood spray from, I actually got this from Walmart. It's a green blood, which I thought was totally cool and fit the Rabie aspect of this. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that inside the mouth and let it drip down. And that's the completed look. I hope you guys like this tutorial. I hope it's easy for you to recreate. I hope you learned some new tips and techniques. And yeah, just enjoy the video, the clip of me taking this off. If you do want to keep this, you can totally keep it and reapply it next year with some more latex or spirit gum. But I loved this tutorial. I'm so proud of the way it came out, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another video. So until then, bye guys, I love you.